Hello again, welcome to Triple T Garage. Triple T stands for Twin Turbo Torino, in case you don't know. Today I'm going to go over a few things. I'm going to go over the remote mount braking system that I did, the home built job. And that's for those of us who have limited firewall clearance and really big motors, such as that. As you can see, the brake booster would normally go right here. And that obviously don't fit. I'm going to go over that. I'm going to go over the door locks for 66 to 71 Fords. I believe they're all for the most part the same. And I'm also going to go over the rear package tray. Specifically fastbacks. How to make your own if you're cheap, if you're broke, or if you just want the experience, learn how to do it. It's not hard. Anybody can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, that's for sure. So I think let's just start off with the door locks. Are you tired of getting locked out of your car every time you shut the door? Here's the fix. As you can see, this is a passenger side door lock. And that's your door lock. The reason it falls down is because it's supposed to be a spring right here. Connects to there, connects to there. More often than not, that's the spring you'll find either in the bottom of the door, and it's usually broke. If you're lucky, you'll find a good one in the bottom of the door, but not often. Now, if you're lucky and you can get on eBay or find somewhere, you can actually buy brand new door lock springs, which are these. I got really lucky, got them for 10 bucks. And there is a left and a right spring. As you can see, that's still in the original packaging. I ain't even touched it yet. And here is the part number for it. It's DOAZ-6291872-A. And I'm not sure what the B14-60 is, but it's 1966 and up. I don't know if you can see that. There's that. You need this little spring to keep your door locks up. And if you can't find the original spring, I found a replacement, which is what is on here. And that replacement is these. They're Mercedes ML door lock actuator springs. M class W163, ML350, ML500, ML320, 97 to 05 door lock springs. You can get them in a pack of 4 for, I don't know, 8 bucks, 9 bucks if you, wheeling deal on it. There's that, so you can see it really good. And these springs fit. This spring and this spring, the ends are just a little bit longer than these for whatever reason, but they do work. That's what's in this one here. I did have to bend this out a little bit to get the spring in, but that'll keep you from getting locked out of your car every time you get out of it. Next thing I wanted to go over is your rear package tray, specifically on the Torino fastbacks. If you got a normal one, then you can make just that right there and you're good to go. But on the fastbacks, as you can see, it's got a curve. Now, you can go buy one. They are, what, 118? And the sail panels, which are usually all discombobulated, these are 75 a piece. If you're like me and you want to put that money towards something good, say some, really nice gauges, the speed hut gauges, or the shifter, or something else, then you can be thrifty, do it yourself, and put that money somewhere else. The sail panels are relatively easy to make as long as you got a pattern. It's not hard. But this rear panel is a little bit different. You got to make that bend. And if you got a decent pattern to start with, you can make one. And that's what it looks like. And I'm going to show you how to make that bend. And the material you use is at Home Depot, and that's $12.98 a sheet. And it is yucca board. Yucca, yeah, whatever that word is, that's what it is. So that's what it is. That's what you buy. And I'm going to show you how to make this thing real quick. Bench vise, 2 pieces of angle iron about 4 foot. You set it up in the vise. You take your board, slide it in and tighten it up. Now when you make your line to the back side of the curve, you want to stay about 2 to 2.5 inches up from your line. So when you bend it, it'll curve. But the secret to making that bend is when you mark your line, you got to pour water on it to loosen up the material to make it a little bit bendy. I took a jug and just poured water on it 3 different times and let it soak in for about an hour or 2. And then this is what I used to put the weight on the board to bend it down. I used wood block, that's 8 pounds. I use this 4x4 post, which is 8.8 pounds. And I use this steel beam, which is 13.2 pounds. And when I put those on, I had the big long board sitting here, the 8-pound board sitting there, and once it got bent down and started bending, it'll go all the way down to about the fender. Then I put the steel back here on this one and started shifting the weight up as the board started to bend. And then once I got the board bent, measured the heights, made sure the heights was the same, and it came out to, like, for me, like 37 inches, which is about, no, right there, somewhere in that area. Then I shifted the boards back as far as they can go and keep the bend and let it set for about 24 hours. After 24 hours, I took it off and it holds its shape. And as you can see, it lines up nicely. And it fits in great too. Fits in real nice. So I not only saved a bunch of money, I gained a lot of experience in doing it, and I can cover it in anything I want to. And here's what it looks like once I put it in. It's nice to have the back glass out, like if you're doing rust repair. It definitely helps. But as you can see, it fits nice. So now that that's out of the way, now I can actually get the rear window back in and start on that. Now as far as the brakes go, when you just run out of firewall room and you ain't got no room to do anything, you gotta come up with alternative solutions. Get creative, basically. So when I did mine, a few things that I'm gonna share with you that I learned is if you're using a clutch master cylinder system, like the one from Speedway Motors, which is a wheelwood system. I think it's a, oh, what the hell is it? I think it's a 5/8 master cylinder and a 7/8 slave cylinder. It's a push cylinder. It pushes out 1 3/4 inches. The average master cylinders, their travel is only 1 1/2. So what I did is I mounted the master cylinder down here off to the side, so that way I got all kinds of room for the motor. Underneath, let's see if I can get this or not. I had to make my own brake pedal because I may have to remake it again because it does stick out quite far. But let's see if you can see that. I made my own bracket up top, mounted the master cylinder to it, the bracket, and then made my own pedal. Don't worry about the springs, it's just temporary. Don't really even need it, to be honest with you. And then I ran the line through the cab all the way to the back. Stay. What the fuck is going on here? Alright. Ran the line all the way back here. You can see the clutch master cylinder, the brake booster, the master cylinder, the proportioning valve, and the vacuum. I had to add a metal check valve in here because that leaked, which explains why I got it so cheap. But as far as the rest of it goes, what I learned is with the master cylinder, the clutch master cylinder setup, I cannot tell if the brake booster has vacuum or not. Which means I didn't need it to begin with. And the brakes are great, by the way. My first setup that I made was this one. Yeah, it was set that way. This bracket I utilized a 73 Torino master cylinder, and it's got the built-in push rod on it, and then mounted the slave cylinder there. Hindsight 2020, I should have left it that way, because with the clutch master cylinder you don't need the brake booster. You don't need the vacuum pump. That's just a waste of extra money. So all in all, had I not added that stuff, I would have had what? 150 bucks in it? Roughly, about 150. Now with the added vacuum and the master cylinder, it was 114, the vacuum was 65. Plus that was like 120, 130, so live and learn. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. And what's next for this thing? Well, I decided to make myself a center console. This out of the way. Make a center console for my gauges, because I'm tired of seeing them sitting in a box on the passenger floor. I originally had somebody else that was going to make one for me, and that never happened, so I guess screw it, made my own. Now with my system, I had to get creative because in the middle, I've got power connections in there. There's the port gauges sitting way over there where nobody can see them. I have to have access to those power connections. Not to mention be able to, you know, access the gauges, and hook them up and wire them. So what I did is I took and made it openable. So it'll come up enough to actually be able to reach in and access everything I need to access under here. I can access the wires, so I can still get to everything. These are just cabinets, cabinet latches. That's all it is. And the way this is going to attach is on the shifter, it's going to be screwed here to the side, and then underneath the ashtray, it's going to have 2 bolts here and here that'll hold it up, because it fits nice and tight on the sides. So I'm not worried about that. So what happens when you get bored, you ain't got nothing to do, and you're broke? My original plan for this was to actually have a windshield in it and be driving it and testing it and tuning it up so I can actually, you know, drive it whenever I want to on the street. But with the price of food nowadays, I can't afford the windshield, so I'm just doing what I can afford. It's only a 1-income house, so when you're broke, you're broke. That's kind of what it's going to look like. That's kind of what it's going to look like once it's in the car. The notches are for the Phytech, which is actually going to sit up at an angle like yay. So that's for the cord to go into the Phytech. And then my Daytona Sensors turbo controller is going to sit here. So I got access for the vacuum line and then the wiring, which will go through here. And then when I need to get in here, I can pop it up and I can access all that under there, just to make life a little easier. It's not perfect, but I think it'll work. Would be nice to have an ashtray though. Anybody out there in La La Land got an ashtray? I can use one. But as far as the body work, I've done a little bit of body work on it. I've prepped the rear window so I can get that back in. I had a 4-inch hole right here I had to fix. Some little rust pits, nothing major. Just got bored, started doing a little bit of body work to it. I'm not too particularly worried about the body because I'm just doing it because I'm bored and there's nothing better to do. I just want to drive the damn thing. If I can ever save up money for the windshield, I'll get there. But until then, I'm just doing what I can. Which ain't a whole lot, but better than nothing. I gotta take a vacuum reading on the motor so I can get the right spring for the blow-off valves. Because right now these are, I think, 30-pound springs, which are way too much. These are down, springs are out, so now these are 7 psi. 7-pound springs. Make that whatever I need for the motor. Get that taken care of and get it wired up. Just a little bit at a time. I'm getting there. Alright, I hope you guys find this a little bit useful. Hopefully the door locks help you out. The rear package tray. Like I say, on fastbacks, it's half the ads I clicked on eBay or anything else, they say for fastbacks, then you click on the ad and it says not for fastback. So if you can buy them, cool. If not, now you know how to make them, then you can cover them whatever you want. I hope all this helps you all out, so see ya.